Hi everyone, this is our 1964 Galaxie 500 XL. My husband's restoring top to bottom. We've been married for 31 years. We got married in 1991 and he's been a car nut since before I met him. When we got married, his dad had a 1964 Galaxie 500 XL in black, and my husband and his dad bought another one and restored it just for our wedding, and they painted it white. So we had two Galaxies for our wedding cars. So that's why he's so excited about restoring this machine. So let's get into it.
Alright, I thought I'd give everybody a bit of an update as to what I've done so far today. As you can see, I basically cut the wheelhouses off. Thought I'd show you where I'm at right now. Just trying to decide how to do the outer wheelhouse replacement. Thought I'd show you a few more things though. One of the things you can do is you can buy this part, and you can buy this piece from AMD Direct. I didn't buy them, but with the amount of work it's taken, I'm starting to think that may not have been a bad idea. They had no rust though, so I'm going to stick with my original plan and leave them on there and reuse them. They just take a bit of a beating when you're, as you can see here, as you're working this line. I had some work to do on the back side as well, so kind of beat it back in place with a hammer and dolly, but it's something to consider. Some of the tools I've been using, I've got an air hammer with a couple of utensils. I've got a really good spot weld cutter that I use. Seems to work okay. Of course, I've got some cut-off wheels, both air. Got a die grinder there. I use a flapper wheel. I've also got the cut-off wheel on the electric grinder as well. I use that for the bigger jobs. I've also got a plasma cutter. I don't use it too often, but I used it to cut the wheel well opening off and then finish it off with the die grinder. And right now I'm just trying to debate what I'm going to do with this opening right now. The good news is you buy parts from AMD Direct. They fit, and they fit well. They've got some good reference points here, like this opening is on the factory car. This opening is also on the factory car. So you've got some really good points of reference. So far what I've done is I've just cut this top piece off to get it into place underneath this spot. As you can see, I think that's the best I can do is try to trim it and try to make it fit there as best I can. I've also noticed here that that it changes in the front here, and you'll notice that on the front of this as well. This is the front of the wheel opening, so you have to be careful of that when you're cutting it off. Another thing you can buy from AMD are these cross braces. I originally didn't think I was going to need them. However, after looking at this one, the rear one, even the front one, I can probably reuse it, but it's got a bit of rust there. I might just repair this one, but you can buy them. They're not that expensive. It's worth considering to buy new ones when you're ordering parts. Time for another update. You see I managed to clean off the bottom of the quarter panel. Managed to clean off the trunk drop off here. And I had trimmed the top of the wheel opening, the outer wheel opening, and I've got it set in place. What I'm going to do is on the back side here, I've got it managed to, I cleaned off the metal, so it'll be basically where it should be. On the front side here though, it's going to be on top instead of trying to cut out all the steel here, which actually sits on top. I'm going to actually put it on top of it. So it's going to stick out maybe, I guess the width, whatever that is, 16 gauge or 18 gauge sheet metal, sticking out a little bit further. So I might have a little bit of adjusting to do when I go to put the quarter panel in, but I believe for the most part that should be very little work. You can see where I'm going to use these to align. There's one there. There's also an opening here that you can see I've got it quasi-aligned to. Like I said, I didn't make this perfect. I just wanted to get it set in place just to see if I could get it to work. Now I'm just going to take off the vice grips, and then you'll get a good chance to see what I've done there, down below. So I have a little bit of cleanup to do here. For the most part, like I said, I'm going to put it on top of here instead of putting it sandwiched in between. But on the back side here, I've cleaned off all the metal. So I just have to finish cleaning it off. You don't want any of these hot spots in there. So I'll just finish cleaning that off, and I'll be ready to start some assembly in the next few days. Some of you may be wondering what I did here. I replaced the cross brace that goes underneath there that actually attaches the gas tank straps. And there was some rust at the two ends, which is, from what I've seen, is pretty common. So the way I did it was I had to basically take off the body mounts, loosen them off, lift the car up, and replace the bracket. Again, I got that from AMD. Fit great, comes in two pieces. Basically spot welded them in. As you can see, I'm not done cleaning it up yet. And then I replaced the metal up top on both ends, and then just did that repair. It came out pretty good. I also did a little bit of rust repair on the two ends here, as well as here. Typical, just a little bit of rust at the ends. I just put some steel on there, replaced it. As for the wheels, I thought I'd just show these to you. These are 14 inch, I think the back are 8.5, and then 14 by 7s in the front. I like them. However, I put front disc brakes on the car. I won't go into the details on that. I got them from Leeds Brakes. Overall, quite satisfied with them. There were a couple pieces missing. They were really good about getting me parts at no cost and shipping them to me. A little bit of a pain being in Canada, but overall pretty happy with their customer service, way beyond anybody else I've dealt with. Did a front end rebuild. I did the offset bushings on the front. As you can see, they're basically straight. Basic overhaul here, replaced all the power steering system. You can see that. You can see that I've been debating going with 15-inch brakes. The lead said they could fit, but they'd be tight. Right now, they're really, really tight. So I did buy a set of 15-inch Cal 500s with a similar design as this, just in case I need them. And last piece I was going to show you here, you may not have noticed it. I basically have a Lentech AOD designed for an FE. Lentech is a Canadian company that specializes in these AODs. Really good quality. They're made to have 700 horse. I was actually planning on doing the drivetrain first. That's why I did the front end. And I've got the transmission here. I ordered it about 6 months ago. Just waiting for FE Specialties to build me a crate 390 engine. I specified a 450 horse one. They're working on it right now. With some of the supply chain issues, they're a little bit behind, but you should see them. They should be here, I'm going to guess probably April, which gives me a chance to basically get the quarter panel back assembled, and really I can have decided on the wheels by then and then take it for the next step. I really can't do anything. I can't really drive it now anymore because I'm pretty much committed. As you can see, my interior is all out. You might be able to see the interior color, and that's the interior color there. The green and the aqua. I need to redo interior. It's just a matter of whether I can get dye for it to be able to work properly. The other thing I did, which I didn't really mention in the other videos, was I adjusted the door, and the door doesn't have any sag, so I just adjusted it so that I had good gap all around. So that when I put the new quarter on, I can use the door as my alignment. I do work weekdays, so you probably won't see anything from me for a few weeks, but I'm hoping to get back on here in the next few weeks to start doing some welding.